Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about a drug which is known as Nux Vomica. It is one of the most important drug in our materia medica. In our daily practices, we used to use many times Nux Vomica, arsenic album, lycopodium, like that. This is one of the most important drug in our materia medica. Now we will go directly into without wasting any time, we can directly go into the drug. These are the seeds, fruit, and the tree of Nux Vomica. It is commonly known as poison nut, belonging to the family of Luganaceae. The alkaloid is strychnine, and this action of the strychnine, if you know, it is basically it is mainly on the central nervous system and also on gastrointestinal system. It is also having action on skin and skin as well as musculoskeletal system. Then if you go to directly into the constitutional features of Nux Vomica, the valuable thing you have to understand regarding Nux Vomica is that it is one of the most important irritable drugs in our materia medica. So whenever you are just hearing about Nux Vomica or seeing a patient of Nux Vomica, it is the most important thing you have to notice that the most irritable personality. In the materia medica, he is noted as a zealous personality. So much irritable, irascible, and easily angered one, with all the desire for alcoholic stimulants, spicy foods, and later on after effects of that. So for addiction processes also, we can use Nux Vomica. Okay, now I will go to the constitutional features of Nux Vomica. It is very particularly indicated to zealous persons inclined to get angry and excited, or of a spiteful, malicious disposition. Even the slightest thing, a small thing can provoke without anything. We are having Mukil Shundi Mundeshikari. ചെറിയ കാര്യം മതി, ചിന്ന പ്രശ്നം ആയിരുന്നാലേ അവ പെരുസാ എടുത്ത് அப்படியே violent ആയിടുവാங்க. That is the nature of Nux Vomica personality, and they are so ardent and always irritable, and they are so much impatient also. They are having so much hurriedness, impatience. They cannot wait for anything, getting into angry into the for the slightest things they will get into angry. And if you go through the other main features of Nux Vomica, it is having action in it is having a temperament, melancholic, nervous temperament, which is with the indigestion, venous constitution, tendency to hemorrhoids. These all things are there with the Nux Vomica, and they are basically thin and lean subjects. It is Nux Vomica is indicated to thin and lean subjects. Irritability, spicy foods, hemorrhoids. With this, we will not get a person who will be having a very cool-minded, very calm-minded or something like that, because due to their routine factors, due to their desires, their body is also responding in that manner. Simultaneously, a totally an irritable personality. And if you go to the temperament, it is having a bilious temperament, and the person is desires. If you go through the desires of this one, alcoholic, stimulants, spicy foods, and coffee, wine, pepper, condiments, all the things spicy, all the things which can harm the gastrointestinal system, they are using it, and they are very much having desire towards that. Next most important keynote feature of this constitution is that they are having convulsive attack, and the significance of why I am telling it here itself, the significance of the convulsion is very important in case of Nux Vomica. Why I am telling? Because convulsion with the consciousness, that is one of the most important keynote feature of Nux Vomica. Now we will go into the next slide. You can see the person who is coming to the room and seeing somewhat of this thing, and the lady is telling, how many times I will clean it out, always arguing, tearing the paper, throwing it onto the floor, and he is so much of angry due to, you can see the nearby persons in this cartoon, you can see the nearby ones, everyone is actually restless because they can't tolerate him, because due to the intense anger they are scared and feared and anxious on him what he will do the next. That is the most important thing you have to know regarding Nux Vomica. If we go through the next slide, you can see in the train, he's there. He's always arguing continuously for the places, time. He's telling hurry. He's irritating the persons who are nearby because due to the anger, he want this thing. I am this thing in train and other things. Lots of passengers will be there, so everyone will be adjusting. But here there is no matter of adjustment. You want to keep his bag onto there because I had booked there, so I will be keeping it there only. And no matter of adjustments. The other persons are, because due to his irritability and telling regarding time and other things, he's so much irritable, ardent. So what that happens is that he is creating an atmosphere which is totally restless, and everyone over there is basically restless due to the irascible behavior of this personality, this Nux Vomica personality. You can see that. Now, next, another important mental peculiarity of this Nux Vomica is that they are basically day sleepers. Day sleepers. They will be sleeping, and during the sleep they will be having high affection. They are basically womanizers. So the dreams also will be having some women's, wine, food, containments. All these nasty things will come to his mind, and he will be having sleeping there with all these thoughts: alcohol, wine, women. So you can understand what is this personality. Alcohol, wine, woman, all these are his thoughts. Even in his dreams also the same thing will be coming. And they are day sleepers. And once you just wake them up from this one here, they will be so much irritable also. Now I will go into the other main 4 points regarding Nux Vomica: sensitivity, pain, fainting, sleep. These are the 4 peculiar things which distinguish Nux Vomica from the other drugs. Their irritability, I already told you. Their mental nature, I already told you. How they behave, I already told you. And what is their nature, I told you. Now regarding the physical generals, regarding the sensitivity, they are sensitive to all the external impressions, especially to noise, odors, light, or music. Even many of the drugs, what is the thing is that music makes us amelioration. If we are in anger, once we are hearing a music, means some sort of compassion will happen, and we will be having a cool mind. For us, desire this. But for a Nux Vomica personality, it also irritates him. And even the harmless of it, the person will be simply telling, sir, he will be asking for coffee. 1 minute, sir, I will get you. Immediately this person will be getting into angry and telling, why you are not waiting for this thing? You know that I am daily taking this time. At this time I am taking coffee at this time, and you are not bringing it over there. Why you are behaving like this? And so much of irritability, so much of irritable. And in the home also, in the morning time, he will be getting out, he will be telling this thing, and maybe the wife will be telling him, 1 minute, I will get the breakfast. What is this time I am going to say, and you are not bringing my breakfast here, you had it prepared there, what is the use of you? Like that, so much of violence. So they are sensitive to everything. And even the smallest harmless word also offends them. For us, simple things, for them, it can be a provocative factor for his anger. The next thing is that tingling, sticking, hard, the pain, regarding the pain. The nature of pain is very important. Out of that, aching is the most important thing. Tickling, sticking, hard, aching. Out of that, aching pain is most important, and worse from motion and contact. And fainting. From orders in the morning, after eating, after every labor pain, he cannot tolerate pain also, even though he is so much of irritable and other things, but he cannot tolerate. After just having some orders in the some smells or something like that, he can just faint down. And the sleep, the most I already told you regarding the sleep in the last slide, they are day sleepers. Cannot keep them falling asleep in the evening while sitting or reading hours or the better. When they are sitting, when we are alert with a book or something, but these persons in the evening, they sleep is a common thing for them. And if you go through their nighttime also, they awake at around 3 to 4 a.m. 3 to 4 a.m. They are having dreamy sleeps. I already told you, I had shown you the picture regarding the dreamy sleep and what he thinks of and what is the thing he is having in it. And another thing is that regarding women, they are basically womanizers. And regarding the sleep also, in the dreams also, such things will come. Automatically, they wake up with the tired and weakness. And even also the thing, they are, what is the thing, night they will be having all the alcoholic stimulants, spicy foods, etc. Sleeps, and early morning they wakes up with the gastrointestinal discomforts that I will tell you when I just come to that area. And initially, a total problem. Now I will go for the particulars out of that notes. I will tell you the most important thing regarding the child Nux Vomica is that snuffles of newborns, snuffles, stuffed up at night, especially stuffy coats, snuffles after exposure to dry cold atmosphere, worse in warm room. They have to very much important symptom regarding a child. Usually Nux Vomica is always thought for adults and nothing, but for child, snuffles of children, Nux Vomica is very much indicated. Then already I had told you they are oversensitive to orders regarding fainting and etc. I had already told you. And in this one, nosebleed during the sleep from suppressed flow of hemorrhoids from coffee, because what happens is that they are having a tensive hemorrhoid in their rectal area, anal area, and automatically when they cough out, immediately there will be oozing of blood can occur over there. Even violent sneezing, etc. can provoke that one. And nosebleeds in the morning is a common factor in bryonia. In Nux Vomica also, such symptoms are there. Then there is sulfur is one of the complementary of Nux Vomica, and there is always a burning smell before the nose of old cheese and burning sulfur. They having a smell sense of old cheese or burning sulfur. Then regarding the respiratory system, asthma, you have to understand, after full stomach, asthma proceeds out. What happens? Gastrointestinal pressure will be increasing. Simultaneously, there will be difficulty and asthma will be following. Asthma with the fullness in the stomach in the morning or after eating, either in the morning or after eating. Asthma with the feeling of tight clothing were too tight, better by belching. And desire to eat during cough. That is one of the keynote symptoms of Nux Vomica. Desire to eat during cough. And the shallow, oppressed breathing is the nature of breathing of Nux Vomica. Next, the most important area. I told you, after nervous system, the most important area is stomach. Stomach, during for this indigestion, hiccup from overeating of cold and hot drinks, nausea, vomiting, morning after eating. Then it can be given for the complaints where they will be having after effects of ailments from eating spicy foods, excessive foods, decayed matters, etc. Like that of arsenic album. These are all basically for the food poisonings. The main indicated drugs are, one is arsenic album, another one is Nux Vomica, and the third one is pulsatilla. You know the indication of arsenic album, you know the indication of pulsatilla with the pastry, cakes, etc. Now here it is with the The next drug is basically with the Nux Vomica from spicy foods, all these eatings, getting gastric discomforts, vomiting, diarrhea, etc. Nux Vomica can be given. And the most important thing regarding the Nux Vomica is that bloated pressure as of a stone in the abdomen even several hours after eating. Even after some eating, he might have had his food dinner at around 1 o'clock or something. In the 8 o'clock also, he is having a bloated sense in his stone abdomen with the sense of stone. Like one of the indicated drug is Nux Vomica. And another thing is that nausea and vomiting with much retching. Nausea better if he can vomit. That is very important. Nausea will be better if he can vomit. Wants to vomit but cannot. Violent vomiting, bilious and sore vomiting, but vomiting is relief for him. That is very important. Vomiting is relief for him. Next, the area regarding gastrointestinal system itself, the end area, rectum, which is giving one of the most important symptoms, frequent ineffectual urging to stool. That means in the morning time, I will explain to you that in the frequent ineffectual urging in the next slide. Now you just hear the symptoms. Stool is incomplete, unsatisfactory, feeling as if a part of stool is remained there unexpelled. In case of silesia, what happens is clayey stool which returns back. Here, in calcareous carp, no desire until there is a large accumulation. Until you are asked for whether you are having any problem, constipation is better for them in case of calcareous carp. But in case of this one, they are having severe frequent ineffective. Why this happens? Because the main reason is that hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids are the major reason. So what happens is that when there is pressure to come out, these hemorrhoids will irritate, simultaneously structuring and closure will occur. Simultaneously, once the closure occurs, some stools will be remaining there, all will not come out. So he will be having urge in his mind. So immediately after a period of time, they return back to toilet again repeats the same thing. The thing follows continuously in the morning. That is what is frequent ineffectual urging for stool. Then alternate constipation and diarrhea after abuse of purgatives. Urging to stool felt throughout the abdomen and severe painful. The whole thing is and itching with the blind hemorrhoids with the ineffectual urging for stool. Itching, there will be severe pruritus will be there. Pruritus ana is one of the most common thing regarding Nux Vomica. And dysentery, stools relieve pains for a time, but constant uneasiness in the rectum. Once you pass the stool, it gives a relief, but constant uneasiness will be there. Already told you what is the reason. It is basically having hemorrhoidal enlargement veins are there. So what happens is that the structure will be, the area of the passage will be narrow, simultaneously something comes out, then again due to the stricture and the pain sensation, immediately it again constricts out. So he completes it. After a period of small time, again as the rectum is not fully evacuated, they return the symptoms, same returns again. Now this is the thing, the person is straining for stool, straining, nothing comes out, something comes out. You can see this one again. Straining, look at his face, how much pain and strain he gives for this one. Now I will go for the female complaints. Menses too early, lasts too long, always irregular, black blood with a faint spells. Fainting is a common factor because menses will be too early, there will be lots of irregular black blood will be there, and it can bring about fainting because due to the excessive flow of blood, it can bring out fainting. And dysmenorrhea, the peculiarity of dysmenorrhea is very important. Pain in the sacrum with urging to stool. That is very important regarding the female symptom of Nux Vomica. Once she is having a dysmenorrhea, along with that she is having an urging for stool with the pain in the sacrum. The indicated drug is Nux Vomica. Then metrorrhagia with the sensation as if bowels want to move. Then leukorrhea, fetid staining yellow, profuse bleeding after miscarriage, lochia, scandian offensive are the other features of female complaints of Nux vomica. Then male complaints are very important. Easily excited, high desire. They are having high desire. I already told you they are basically womanizers. They are having women things and thoughts and other things are there. And all the complaints of especially backache, etc., from arising from this problem. Bad effects of sexual excess and lumbago from sexual excess and masturbation. That means back pain. They are having severe back pain after sexual excess or masturbation is a common thing regarding Nux vomica. Then spermatoria with the dreams. In the night, I told you, lascivious dreams will be there regarding women and everything. So spermatoria will be with the dreams will be there. And in the morning, I told you they will be having weakness and tiredness with the backache. Then there will be constriction of the pain in the testicles or orchitis. The other drugs are basically pulsatilla, and another one is orchitis. Orometallicum is another drug which can be given for orchitis. Then lastly, fever. Chilli must be covered in every stage of fever. That is very important. Even though Nux vomica is a polycrus drug and chronically they are used, it is having many number of symptoms which can be used for many of the acute complaints. One is, I already told you, food poisoning, gastrointestinal upset, and in case of fever, again, the peculiarity of fever is very important. They are Nux vomica chilli patient, but must be covered in every stage of fever. That is very important. Must be covered the every stage of fever. Body is burning hot, especially of the face. It cannot move or uncover without feeling chilly. Body is burning hot, especially over the face. It cannot move or uncover without feeling chilly. There's so much chilly. Then and perspiration will be sore. Soreness is another feature of Nux vomica. Dry heat of the body. And sweat usually one-sided warm on the upper side, most side, etc. are common. And aching in the limbs and the gastrointestinal complaints are associated with this one. And usually with the gastrointestinal upset and other things, also fever will be accompanied. So you have to understand regarding if they are having so much of chilliness, gastrointestinal disturbance, enteric fevers, etc. Nux vomica is one of the most indicated drugs. Then regarding the modalities, better if they allow to finish in the evening, resting in damp, wet weather, strong pressure, better for free discharges, wrapping head, hot drinks, milk, fat, moisture, lying on sides. Then worse from high living, coffee, containments, liquor, stimulants, narcotics, drugs, tobacco, purgative, all these are their desires, but yet these all causes discomfort for them also. That's why it comes worse from all these things. Worse in the early morning, especially early morning, they wake up, go to the toilet, ineffectual urging, don't forget these things. And even from the slightest cause, they are causing pressure over the waist, etc., causes discomfort for them. Next, I will tell you the comparison regarding some of the drugs which are angry and irascible in nature. They are basically, one is calica, which is basically dogmatic, whimsical, irascible. They are so much of irritable, so much of weak, and physically and mentally weak also. But in case of Nux vomica, full vigor. Only sexual excess and sexual problems creating after excesses, they are becoming weak and other things. And after daydreaming also, Nux vomica, they will be having the gets up with the tiredness. Laches is the other one. Laches will be having another irritable drug, but it is having suspicious, jealousy, revengeful are the most important features of that one. Nitric acid, anger with the self-abusal. That is very important. Soyam kuttapaduthuka. Soyame pazhikkirathu. That is the thing with the nitric acid, and they are having worry of life and fear of death. Then in causticum, another irritable one, but for social injustices, cannot bear any injustice, and for social, our others, for anything because unlawful, they cannot tolerate. That is with the causticum. Sulfuric acid, again, another alcoholic, anti-alcoholic drug which can be used for de-addictions. The the nature of sulfuric acid, which is differentiating from Nux vomica, is that this one is quick and hasty, is the prominent feature of sulfuric acid. And the stramonium convulsion is very much similar to Nux vomica. Convulsions with the consciousness and delirium are the associated with the delirium, convulsions with the consciousness, and the differentiating feature with the Nux vomica is that delirium will be prominent in case of stramonium. Now I will conclude the topic. When you are just hearing Nux vomica, the most important thing you have to understand is that first symptom, convulsions, celestum personality, convulsions with the consciousness, ineffectual urging for stool, sore persons, sleep, fainting and pain, aching pains. These are the things you must have to have a clear understanding regarding Nux vomica. Now I will conclude this section. Thank you all. Meet you all again soon with another drug.